Now, Transport Minister Barbara Creecy is meeting her Mozambican counterpart today in an effort to ease congestion at the Lubombo and Rosano Garcia border posts this festive period. Now, the high-level engagement will focus on boosting cross-border transport efficiency between South Africa and Mozambique. This will then be followed by an on-site assessment of key sections of the N4 to identify urgent interventions. Newzroom Afrika's Katlego Schoto is there and brings us the latest. Katlego, a very good morning to you. While that operation seems to be in full swing, with some arrests already having taken place.
Yes, Katlego, certainly. It is a buzzing with activity here as law enforcement officials are well within their work here, stopping motorists and checking if they are abiding by the law. We did see some visuals of two people particularly being arrested. While the details, they are not too clear, what we know is that one person was arrested allegedly for driving under the influence of alcohol and another person for allegedly trying to bribe an officer. So these are some of the challenges that law enforcement officials are dealing here with, and it is the National Traffic Police officers working alongside BMA authorities as well, and stopping and checking that motorists are abiding by the law. As we know, it is the festive peak season, and so many people, not just cargo with trucks here, but also travelers working their way between South Africa and Mozambique for leisurely purposes as the festive season moves on into December. But just to get a sense of what the roads are looking like here, especially on the N4, this Maputo corridor, we do have with us CEO Lwazi Mboyi to give us more details. Thank you, sir, for your time. If you can tell us what you've observed so far and what are the interventions looking like as we head deeper into the festive season.
So thank you very much and good morning to you and your listeners, Katlego. Yes, there is a bit of a peak in terms of traffic now with people heading towards Mozambique. It is the last long weekend of the year, I think, before Christmas, so there is a bit of a peak in terms of traffic movements across the border into Mozambique, especially for passenger movements. But we also do have freight movements. As you see, we are challenged with a lot of trucks that are on the road, about 10 kilometers of trucks that are still waiting to get into kilometer 7 and then out into the border. So there is a bit of a peak in terms of traffic movements across the border. But secondly, we are deploying here, as we are deploying along the corridor and other corridors across the country. Traffic police are here, CPRTA, BMA, to monitor the situation and to inspect vehicles to make sure they are roadworthy, to make sure that people are abiding by the rules of the road, but also more importantly to make sure that we have got order on our roads before Christmas. The Honourable Minister has been pushing for a drastic reduction in the loss of lives and in the number of fatalities on our roads. And this is part of the campaign that the combined law enforcement entities are driving to ensure that we have a better situation on our roads going into the festive season and beyond. So we are out here today as a combined team of law enforcement officers, CPRTA law enforcement, NTP, the BMA and the provincial traffic to monitor the situation and to inspect a lot of these vehicles that are going through that are on the N4. So that's part of the lane. And secondly, the Honourable Minister is also coming as well to visit this area today to look at the inspections that are being done, but also to look at some of the work that is being done at kilometer 7 to alleviate the challenges and the blockages that are taking place on this corridor as we are trying to move freight across the border.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, we see just from the developments of this morning, some people being arrested. Are you disappointed that people just don't heed the message year on year to abide by the rules of the road?
It is extremely disappointing because these messages are spread throughout the year that people must desist from driving under the influence of alcohol. So you are correct that one of the persons that was arrested this morning was a person arrested allegedly for driving under the influence of alcohol. And the second one was not complying with the rules of the road, allegedly was arrested for trying to bribe an officer of the law as part of their response. So it's quite disappointing that as much as there are these messages going out all the time, but we still do have people on the roads that are insisting on driving under the influence of alcohol, and they pose a significant amount of danger to other motorists, and therefore this creates the kinds of accidents that we see. But the message from our minister has always been very clear that law enforcement must play its role and must not be doing any favors to people that are behaving in that fashion. So that's part of the reasons why you see these people being arrested. We are being very strict on the motorists that are misbehaving on the road, and also those that are driving under the influence of alcohol. So Minister Creasy has got a very clear message that be out there, monitor the roads, make sure that people behave as much as possible. I also know that the Deputy Minister was doing the same yesterday in KwaZulu-Natal, Deputy Minister Hlengwa. So both of them are driving a very hard message that says, be on the road, look out, and make sure that those that are behaving are taken off the road. There are also cars that have been discontinued which were not fit to be on the road, because people at this time of the year take chances and use any type of vehicle or don't make sure that the vehicles are roadworthy. Some of them are overloaded, and these are the things that are worrying us as the transport fraternity.
Yes. And now just looking at this discussion between Minister Creasy and her counterpart, Mr. Matlome in Mozambique, looking also at what we saw last year with the political unrest in Mozambique seeping its way into South Africa. Are those discussions friendly at this point? Are they on the same page? Can we get a sense of that?
The discussions are very cordial and very friendly. I think last year, yes, we were challenged by the unrest in Mozambique, but I think we've gone past that phase now. We worked on that phase extensively. We've gone past that phase. The elections have the situation has settled post the elections, and the minister has met with her counterpart, I think a couple of times, not only once. I think even during the BNC discussions in Maputo last week, they met. We supported our honorable minister there. So there are very cordial and ongoing discussions between the two, and they keep looking at solutions to the Maputo corridor problem, particularly at the border, because there are still delays in terms of transitioning traffic from South Africa into Mozambique. They are both, as part of the inspection and an oversight today, they're inspecting the area to determine what can be done to move freight much faster across the border. And the most important thing is that they are doing it together. So you can see that the two ministers are working very well together to try and find solutions to the challenges that are experienced in the corridor here. We can do as much, but I think it's also important for the political principals to come together and support the work that is being done. And I think today is a demonstration of that fact, that they are coming together to pull all of us together to say what can be done to alleviate some of the challenges that we see at the border and on the N4.
Yeah. I'll leave it there for now, CEO. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So there you've heard it, Katleho, from the CEO of the Cross-Border Roads Transport Agency, just highlighting there that the talks between Barbara Creasy and her Mozambican counterpart, Mr. Matlome, being friendly at this point, and that they've overcome the hurdle of last year's, unrest that took place in Mozambique, making its way into South Africa, blocking a lot of the travel between the two countries. But certainly officials working hard to look at making sure that motorists are adhering by the rules of the road, and confirming there that 2 arrests already have taken place this morning, or one for a person allegedly driving under the influence of alcohol, and another person who was not adhering by the rules of the road and attempting to bribe, and allegedly attempting to bribe a police official. So those arrests have been taking place. Disappointing, especially looking at the time of day and early in the festive season. So the engagement is going on. We will see Minister Creasy and her counterpart here on site very soon, and certainly looking forward to what they have to say.
Certainly, and we hope that some of these discussions will also translate in what we are seeing on the ground.